Hello, my lovely Sagittarians. This is your reading for the week of December 1st, or when you hear it and it resonates. It won't be for all Sagittarians, of course, and it might be Sagittarian, Sun, Moon, Rising, or a lot in your chart that is Sagittarius. So what the image that I was given immediately as soon as I started thinking about doing your reading was I got an elevator, and the elevator is nice. It's a, stainless steel, current modern elevator. And as you go in and you push your floor, which is way up there, you hear the tone, boom, boom, going up. The thing is, your elevator starts going up and then all of a sudden stalls, gets stuck, and it goes, and you grab the sides and it's like, oh, what's happening now? Wherever it's all of this stuff that can start happening in your mind. Is it going to fall? Is there a mechanism that's broken? Did I do something? Did I jam something? There are all these thoughts that can come as you get kind of stalled on your way to the top. Now, if we look at the top as being, well, I'm not even going to try to define the top because the top is going to be different for everybody. But what this whole thing is about, as I'm asking for clarity about this, is that you're being told that this elevator is not this ride is not meant to be smooth. It's meant to have moments where it gets stuck, because this is part of your evolution. This elevator is representing your evolution to higher consciousness and to connection to your internal self that is linked to your higher conscious mind, to your spirit, and ultimately to your power, your core power, which is love, which is connection to spirit, which is acknowledging the truth of your spiritual essence and everybody else's who's involved in whatever situation surrounds this elevator ride, your life. Now, what's relevant? What I'm seeing is these floors where you stop, where it goes and you get goes like that. Each time that happens and you can't move on at the same pace that you were, you're in a position of non-progress according to what you would traditionally have thought was progress. But the fact that you're stopping and you have this almost incubated time in this space of non-movement upward allows you to move inward. That's where you become self-reflective. That's where you start understanding things like, how have you taken care of yourself? How have you not been loyal to your own well-being as a response to taking care of other people or managing other situations? This is where you get to reflect back on where those behaviors came from, if it's necessary for you to be able to let go of them. But what they're saying is this is a part of what the journey is about. Now, we know that everybody is on a different, I don't want to say level of consciousness, but we all come in with certain karmic patterns. We all come in with certain awareness. We come in differently based on how long we've lived, this is my belief, of course, how long we've lived, what we need to learn this time in order to grow. So it's going to look differently for everybody. But what I can say is Sagittarius has gone through a lot of big eye-opening changes in the last, I will say strongly in the last 5 years, and really strongly in the last couple of years. And it can feel sometimes when we're having one after another, that we're kind of off our path. But what Spirit is saying is you're still on the elevator. You're not off the elevator. It only feels like you're off purpose, like you're not going to get somewhere or where you want to go. But what you're being told is, do you want the problem or do you want the solution? And that's one of the key ways for you to be able to ride this elevator of evolving consciousness more smoothly. Instead of really focusing on what's gone wrong, why is it like this, and importantly, with the attitude of what have I done wrong, it's really important for you to discipline the way you think. It's really key for you here in this, that you make a choice to regulate the way you think. It's not that you're not going to go over and understand things and learn things. That's an essential part of the elevator getting stuck or stopping at a floor and not opening and letting you out, which is sometimes what it feels like you're kind of trapped in all of this stuff. But what you're being told is, listen to the story that you're playing in your head. I just dropped some cards. I better check on them. Listen to the story that you're playing in your head and check in whether or not it's actually accurate. Check in with what it has to teach you, what's underneath it. Because sometimes the story will start out as I never got a chance to learn piano when I was a child. And now you can go down a road of all the other things that were wrong that you didn't get when you were a child. Instead, I never got to play piano as a child. Did I ever really want to? Or am I just looking back on it now and saying, I never got to, without really it being connected to that? What's underneath that? What's underneath the I never got a chance to learn piano? Maybe it was really the fact that you just didn't feel that your artistic nature was being honored or respected or valued. So look at what the reality is behind the words you are saying to yourself as you're getting stuck on these floors. And notice when it just becomes a story that you're telling yourself that is the old energy that is related to the problem of, for example, your creativity not getting honored. Well, who you are now determines whether or not your creativity is going to be honored. It's not the story from the past, okay? And it may not be about piano. Maybe you want to become a painter. Maybe you want to become a sculptor. Maybe you just want to explore your creative self without having it ridiculed. That could be that too. So just look at this within the context of, if your elevator of progress, and progress can be relationship, money, status, business, any progress towards anything that you're achieving. If it's been stalling, check in with that, because this is where you get to learn. Those moments where your momentum stops actually can be very, very important in terms of looking at pride, okay? Where are you not proud of yourself? Or where are you too prideful in a way that's been holding you back and preventing you from seeing maybe some changes that you could make that would make your life better? You've also got, this is very important, Sagittarius, you've got the faith card and take God with you card, okay? So the faith card is reminding you that faith is a journey inward. It's inward towards the spiritual reality of self rather than any relationship to an external religion, okay? So this, whatever you're going through, this is about you expanding towards your inner spiritual reality. And you're being told, take God with you. Remember this, whatever trouble you're going through, whatever sadness you're going through, whatever problems want to keep presenting themselves to you in a way that feels overwhelming to you, please lean into the reality that there is divine love for you. And even if you're in a place where you can't feel it and you're questioning it, check in and say, God, I don't know if you're there, but if you are, this is me and this is what I need help with. And maybe what I need help with is my faith. And it may not be God. It may be the unified field. It might be the sacred essence. It might be your guardian angel. It might be any of those things. But you're being told, this is where you just say yes to the good things. For now, say yes to the good things. And if you find yourself resenting the fact that the elevator is getting stuck in a place where you don't like it, this is where you use your mind. This is where you really take stock of your mind and you say, all right, now, what can I do to get me out of this funk? Okay, I may not be able to see positive right now, but I can lean into God, and I can do something that is playful. I can do something that is completely other than analyzing and looking and trying to figure it out, because this is where you can sometimes get stuck. It's where we can all get stuck, right? But the other thing they're showing me is a thermometer. Thermometer, thank you. This is an image I didn't understand. They gave it to me before and I didn't understand it. The thermometer is relevant because the thermometer is a mercury-filled thermometer. Mercury is about, well, we're just finishing a Mercury retrograde. Mercury is about all kinds of communication, electronic communication, including your nervous system. It's very much connected to air and therefore the heart chakra. And so this says to me that many of you are dealing with heart chakra issues, and that you have a choice. You have a choice to decide how you want to proceed with these emotions. They might be, you might find yourself, again, going up and down between a few degrees on the thermometer where you kind of bounce back and forth like this. What you're being told is it's in those moments, please, Sagittarius, it's in those moments where you get to choose how you want to shape your life in the future. It's really important to remember that however important it is to really understand whatever the emotions are that have kept you or that have stalled you, or whatever the reasons were and whatever investigating you have to do going back, that it's also equally important to remember that your mind is so incredibly powerful. Used for the good, it is amazing in terms of where and how it can shape your future. Sometimes, in fact, don't kill the messenger. Sometimes, in fact, it is the fact that you've had longings before for change that you did not expect would necessarily show up in the kind of changes within your life that are happening now. It may have been a longing for a different kind of life. It may have been longing for a different kind of relationship or a different career, or just a freedom that you hadn't experienced before in yourself. That may have led to big changes within relationships, within work, within how you take care of yourself. You very likely will notice as you step back and move into observer position that there has been a longing for some kind of change that precipitated the stalling on the elevator, so that you could look at things and reorient and decide maybe you want to get off on a different floor, or maybe you want an entirely new elevator. So Sagittarius, please remember, especially during the holiday seasons, it's an emotional time. Emotions are rife. They're everywhere. And it's a really normal time. It's a common thing in this time that people become sentimental, that we all kind of look back. And often it's a time when we really notice our losses, where we're really aware of our losses. It is, in its own way, a stopping of an elevator, because Christmas time, whether or not you're celebrating it, the group conscious mind is kind of in this bubble of emotion, of sentimentality, of sadness, of hope, of all of these things that come up during this period of time. So be really mindful of yourselves in this period of time. Be particularly kind and loving. Be particularly kind to yourselves, okay? You have got, and then you've got choose. Again, a choice. Choose kindness in all ways, and understand that when you get stuck on an elevator, the tendency is to panic. The tendency is to hit the buttons and get mad at the people who've made the elevator or who are running the elevator. You don't want that as your lens for this season, because as much as there is the potential for sadness, please also remember this season is a time where you can really genuinely connect with that deep sense of spiritual love that is out there, okay? You've got pleasure and play card. You've got faith. You've got 2 choice cards. Take God with you. Discipline in terms of watching where your mind goes, okay? And remember that whenever there feels like chaos or a breakdown of a structure, keep your mind on where you want to go, because if the structure is breaking, or if you're reflecting on a structure that has broken, it's because there is freedom for you in this. There is great freedom for you in this. And you are very much being supported. You are very much being supported by your higher conscious self and by the divine. So I'm going to leave you with that, Sag. Bon courage. Be strong, okay? But be loving and kind and gentle. And when I say be strong in not letting your mind just go play, pleasure. Take God with you, okay? Take care, Sag.